Adam Leo and Pam Prasad, two lifelong friends and passionate vegans, had been looking forward to their camping trip in the Angeles National Forest for weeks. The sprawling woods offered an escape from the noise of Los Angeles and a chance to reconnect with nature. After a day spent hiking through dense trails and marveling at the beauty of the old-growth forest, they set up their campsite under a canopy of towering pines. As the sun dipped below the horizon, they cooked a hearty lentil stew over a small fire, laughing and sharing stories. "Isn't it amazing how alive this place feels?" Pam said, sipping from her tin bowl. "It's like the trees are breathing with us." "Exactly," Adam agreed, strumming his guitar lightly. "This is why we fight to protect it, you know? Living in harmony with the world, not taking more than we need." As the stars filled the sky and the fire burned low, they crawled into their tent, the forest's quiet enveloping them like a warm blanket. But as the hours passed, the silence grew unnaturally heavy. Not a single rustle of leaves or chirp of crickets disturbed the stillness. Adam stirred awake, a strange hum reverberating through the air. It wasn't the sound of wind or animals. It was mechanical, pulsating, and alien. He nudged Pam awake. "Do you hear that?" he whispered. Pam groggily opened her eyes just as a brilliant green light pierced the tent. The hum grew louder, making their ears ring. Before they could react, the tent was ripped open by an invisible force, and they were lifted into the air, weightless and terrified. They screamed, clutching at each other as they were pulled into a massive, hovering craft. Inside, the air felt thick and charged, and the walls shimmered with an otherworldly light. They were surrounded by beings unlike anything they'd ever imagined. The aliens were tall, their translucent skin glowing faintly like moonlight. Their large, almond-shaped eyes glimmered with an unsettling intelligence, and their long, delicate fingers moved as though underwater. One stepped forward, its movements smooth and deliberate. "Do not fear," it said, its voice a melodic hum that resonated in their minds rather than their ears. "You have been chosen for study." Pam, still clutching Adam's arm, found her voice. "Study? Study for what?" The alien tilted its head, its expression unreadable. "Your species intrigues us, particularly your chosen way of sustenance. You reject the consumption of other beings, yet thrive. We seek to understand this anomaly." Adam blinked. "You abducted us because we're vegan?" "Yes." Pam exchanged a bewildered look with Adam. "I don't know whether to feel honored or terrified." "You will not be harmed," the alien assured them. "You will simply help us learn." The two friends were escorted through glowing corridors into a sleek, sterile room furnished with strange, floating panels. The air smelled faintly metallic, and the walls pulsed with faint patterns of light. Adam began testing the walls for hidden openings while Pam examined the strange glyphs etched into the floating panels. "We need to figure out where we are," Pam said, her voice low. "And how to get out," Adam added. "I'm not sticking around to be some alien science experiment." After hours of trial and error, Pam managed to activate a holographic map of the ship. A blinking light at the edge of the map seemed to indicate an escape pod. "This is it," she whispered. Their chance came during a shift change among the aliens. The two slipped out of their room and navigated the glowing halls, keeping to the shadows. The ship's architecture was like a maze, with no clear distinction between walls and doors, but the map guided them. They reached the escape pod, a small, spherical vessel pulsing with energy. Pam hesitated as Adam worked to figure out the controls. "What if this thing doesn't take us back to Earth?" she asked. Adam glanced at her. "Do you trust staying here more than taking a chance?" Pam sighed. "Good point." The pod roared to life as Adam hit a glowing glyph. Suddenly, the ship's alarms blared, and the halls filled with shimmering blue light. The Albrians were coming. "Hold on," Adam shouted as the pod shot out of the ship, hurtling toward Earth. The descent was chaotic, the vessel shaking violently as it entered the atmosphere. They braced for impact, and after a jarring crash, the pod came to rest in a clearing near the edge of the forest. Dazed but alive, they stumbled out into the night air. Los Angeles twinkled in the distance, and the familiar scent of pine filled their lungs. "We made it," Pam said, her voice trembling with relief. Adam held up a small, metallic orb he had swiped from the ship. Its surface pulsed with faint blue light. "Not just that. We brought back a souvenir." Pam stared at the orb. "What is it?" "No idea," Adam admitted, "but I think it's important." As they made their way back to civilization, they couldn't shake the feeling that their journey with the Albrians wasn't over. The orb buzzed faintly in Adam's hands, as though alive. In the weeks that followed, they discovered the orb contained data, a vast repository of alien knowledge about ecosystems, sustainability, and advanced technology. But it also contained a warning. The Albrians weren't done with Earth. Determined to use the orb's secrets for good, Adam and Pam vowed to prepare. Their experience in the woods had changed them forever. What began as a camping trip turned into a mission to protect their planet, fueled by their belief in compassion, sustainability, and resilience. The Albrians might return, but Adam and Pam would be ready. Together, they would show the world that even the smallest choices, like living in harmony with nature, could shape the future of humanity.